Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shemel, Shabbat, Shem, Rakar, Kodash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Anyway, I want to go into I call it the biblical map. And the reason why I call it the biblical map is, when you read the scriptures, it's covering these areas right here, mainly right here, which they call the Fertile Crescent, the Levant, and you get an understanding of, and our land. This is supposed to be our land, right? You got Jerusalem, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon. You got all these places here, right? Damascus. You got Bethlehem, Nazareth, so forth. Now, this is our land right here. All of this. All this is our land. Not just this here. All this here is our land. You got to get familiar with the maps too. And when you understand those maps, you understand Noah's sons, 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth or Japhet. Because it all started right over here. Then it wound up over here, Mount Ararat in Turkey. And what had happened was when they repeopled the earth after the flood, they went, Shem, Japhet covered these lands, the various islands. Shem had this land over here because the Arabs, the Ishmaelites, Midianites, and so forth, they're Shem. So we had all this. And then you had Canaan over here. You had Mizraim over here. You had Put over here, which is Libya today. You had Cush, Sudan. By the way, Sudan, that's where the original Egyptians are the people of Sudan. Sudan has been broken up recently. Esau got involved. North Sudan and South Sudan. This is Eritrea, which that's part of, you got Ethiopia as you go down. So the people of Eritrea are really Ethiopians. They're really Cushites. But you got Jake mingled among them too. And you got Jake mingled among the Egyptians, the Sudanese, the people of Cush, the Libyans. We settled all the way west. I'm not going to go all the way west because these lands were established. And nobody was down in South Africa, the southern part of Africa. The Zulus, one of the major nations that took Africa, they were descended from the Bantu people, which are Israelites. Got the Bantu people. You got the people of Benin. Benin is son, except for the M, Benin. But Benin would be son, a Bun. Bantu, Bun meaning son. You go to them ancient maps, you go to the maps where Esau went throughout the Africas, you go to the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, there were certain parts of Africa, I'm talking about West, even mid-Africa. You had the land of Ephraim, you had Judah, you had Fort Judah. So it makes all the sense in the world that every person on the planet Earth came from one of the 3 sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, or Japhet. got the Red Sea. You got the Euphrates and the Tigris. Which you can hardly see. I believe this is the Tigris, and this is the Euphrates because this is Iraq. Iraq is off of the coast of the Euphrates River. Then you got the journeys that Paul took, the 3 major journeys. He took 5 altogether, and he hit all these areas here. He hit all these areas here. I'm looking for Greece. Okay, there's Greece. He was up there in Greece. Macedonia. They had their different names back then. But Macedonia is as ancient. It goes way back. Rome, that's an old name. Rome, Italy, or the land of Kittim. You got Cyprus, which was Kittim. And Alexander was born, if I'm not mistaken, he was born in Kittim, which is Cyprus today. Let me see. So Macedonia, that's where the Greeks first ruled, going back to Philip of Macedonia, which is the father of Alexander, which was born in Cyprus. So you got to familiarize, like if I was able to take all these words out and you got a blank, just the maps, would you be able to navigate yourself through these different maps, these areas? If Black Sea wasn't there, would you know what it was called? This is Caspian Sea. It doesn't say Caspian. This is Caspian Sea. This is the Black Sea. This is Georgia, Russia. The Caucasus Mountains are here in this region over here. Caucasus is between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Now I'm going to show you that our land, when we get our kingdom, we're going to control the whole world, but our headquarters is going to be all of this here. That's a lot of land. That's a lot of land. We're going to take Esau's land because he's going to be spread around the Israelites to be a slave. So let me go. When you go to, what is it, Genesis 2? Yeah, Genesis 2, when it goes into the Gihon, the Pison, the Euphrates, and the Tigris. Pison is the Red Sea. I hadn't gone through this in a while. Then you got the Nile. You got the Red Sea. Then you got the Nile. You got the Euphrates. And you got the Tigris. So now let me go to the scriptures. I'll make this short. Let me go to Genesis 15. You got Israelites saying that the 400-year prophecy is referring to America. It's not talking about America. It's talking about Egypt, Mizraim. Go right down to the point. I'll start at 12. Genesis 15 verse 12. See these small hats that's it, that they're in that particular land. That's not the whole land. So that further proves that they're not the people, because they're not in the land. They're not in Saudi Arabia. They're not between the Red Sea and the Euphrates. So it says, and you can read this from the top. I'm going right to the point. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, which means exalted father. Abba Ram. Abba means father, and Ram means exalted. A ram, an animal called a ram, is a Hebrew word because they high and exalted on the mountains. It says, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. He was in a deep sleep, in a coma, if you will. And he said unto Abram, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. Didn't he have many seeds? So what is it talking about? It's talking about the seed that came out of Isaac. And from Isaac, Jacob and Esau, the seed that came out of Jacob. Because Esau didn't go into captivity under the Egyptians. It was the sons of Jacob. It said, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. That's talking about Egypt or Mizraim. It's not talking about America. And also that nation, which are the people of Mizraim, one of the sons of Ham or Chum, whom they shall serve, will I judge. And that was it, the 10 plagues. And eventually we left out of that land. The Pharaoh at that time said, go and take your people and pray to your Lord and ask your Lord to bless me too. It says, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance, because the scripture said they got reparations. You know, not in paper dollars, but in gold and in, you know, things of value, mainly gold. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and that's in our land, because we had to oh, by the way, let me bring this up. Let me do this. In case you were wondering where the wilderness was, the wilderness was right here. The wilderness was right there. For 40 years. It was between what do you call this? The Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Akbar. And by the way, we didn't go through the Red Sea. We went through the Gulf of Suez, but he said Red Sea because the Gulf of Suez is connected to the Red Sea. It's a part of the Red Sea. It says, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the 4th generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Because while we were in Egypt, the Amorites were in our land. So when was their iniquity come to the full? After the 40 years of us being in the wilderness, after the 400 years of us being in Egypt. And Amorites just represent one of the families of Canaan, the Canaanites. You had seven families of the Canaanites. They all came out of Canaan. The Amorites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Parasites, is not yet full. That's why the Most High told us to go in there and utterly destroy them, smite them. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. That's going into the sacrifice if you read from the beginning, from the top verse. In the same day, Yahweh made a covenant. Now, this is not the covenant that has to do with Israel. It's a covenant between the Most High and Abraham, which is an agreement that he's gonna bless his offspring, which are the Israelites, with Abraham, saying, "Unto thy seed, which are the Israelites, have I given this land, from the river of Egypt," which is the Nile River, "unto the great river, the river Euphrates." Let me show you that. I kept saying the Red Sea, but it's the Nile. The Nile is over here. So all this land, Euphrates is over here. All this land is ours. But we're going to have control over the whole earth anyway. We're going to be the kings over the whole earth, because we're going to make them we're going to put them in their lands, put them back in their right, proper lands, but we're going to be over them. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Learn your maps.